Good afternoon. Please indicate your names and surnames and the date of your birth.
Good afternoon, respected Board of Directors of Republic Bank. I appreciate the opportunity that you give me to be part of this respected work team, and I hope that everyone is well in the face of this beautiful situation that we are experiencing worldwide. My name is Paula Alejandra González Diaz. I am 19 years old and I was born on 16th of May of 2000, and I am studying in the Military University Nueva Granada and in the 7th semester of economic degree.
What do you know about Republic Bank?
In my experience as students, I have the opportunity to learn about the monetary exchange and credit policies of this respected, autonomous and unique institution within the state that, together with theoretical basis, has managed the monetary objective towards the targeting inflation, maintaining stability in the Colombian economy and the purchasing power of the currency. Through Law 25 of 1923, the Republic Bank was created as the Colombian Central Bank. So the creation of the Republic Bank constitutes a fundamental element in the economy of the country and the organization of the institutions. So over the years, these institutions have undergone important change to adapt it to the economy in the permanent process of growth and updating. Currently, all of them are shares headed by the General Manager Juan José Chavarría, the Technical Manager Hernando Vargas, and the Executive Manager Marcelo Campo. So clearly, the conjunction of the entire group makes that positive results are possible in the recent years.
It should be noted that other of its most important functions are: first, be a lender of last resort to credit institutions to guarantee the optimal amount of liquidity; second, produce and distribute cash in the market; third, manage the international reserve made of currencies and gold; fourth, it's a governmental fiscal agent, that is, it regulates the issuances of titles and or bonds to finance the debt. Last, contribute to cultural activity and knowledge generation through museums, libraries, etc.
So, the mission of the Republic Bank is to contribute to the well-being of Colombians by preserving the purchasing power of the currency, supporting sustained economic growth, conserving the financial stability, and the proper functioning of the payment system and the cultural management. The vision is build trust and contribute to the well-being of the Colombians. So the values are integrity, respect, efficiency, inclusion, and sustainability.
What line of economic research arouses your interest?
I think that it is one of the most difficult dilemmas that I have to develop, because I have any interest in each line of research, but I think that I can execute my knowledge and contribute in any way for my country. However, is the fiscal policy that arouses a special interest on me, and I think that these tastes will be positively reflected on the results that can be obtained during this important learning process. So I consider that the impact of the taxes and the public spending on the well-being of Colombians is immense. So this is what I would like to provide some tools to overcome conventional obstacles such as corruption and the undue control over the resources.
How do you think Republic Bank can help mitigate the difficult economic conditions generated by the current coronavirus pandemic?
I consider that the history shows us the efficiency of the central bank to maintain the target inflation over the 3%, but this is also clear that the current conditions destroy any forecast that have been made in the past about the world economy, especially in health and humanitarian conditions. But I think that the most sensitive thing is that all the institutions act together to mitigate the effects of the pandemic over the population. But that it's also clear that the capacities of the banks have not to be exceeded to grab relief to the economy, because precisely the history shows us how the high inflations bring us misery and precarious conditions to our life, that this is the case of
Or
Venezuela.
the policies that have been implementing, such as reducing intervention rates to 3% on condition that financial institutions grant low-cost loans to individuals and small and medium-sized enterprises, as well as the decision to access the flexible line of credit granted by the International Monetary Fund to expand the immediate and unconditional availability of resources in the face of external events that threaten the country's balance of payments and maintain the confidence of investment agents in the market. International decisions on the Colombian economy, among other decisions, have been optimal to contain to a large extent the consequence of this conjuncture, so unfortunate for each one of us.
In this way, I support every decision made by the central bank, and I believe that it should not be given more responsibility or tax that concern directly for the central government, such as targeting expenses on the vulnerable population.
How do you see in the medium term the possible scenarios that the country's economy will have to face?
In terms of employment, although it's true that many companies have opted for the mass dismissals of workers because capital is depleted for its respective salaries, I think that this is also important to highlight the importance of work at home, because it allows to maintain the role within the companies.
In this way, in the short term, the effects will inevitably be strong for the pocket of a part of Colombians. However, when this pandemic can be controlled or eliminated, workers will be needed again to revive economic activities at a higher speed and with the help of optimal policies. The economy will take its normal course that have been judiciously built in the last year.
Regards imports and exports, it depends by the spread of COVID virus around the world, that is given by the nature of the health crisis, and it depends on the duration and the efficiency of economic policies in each country.
In this way, a slowdown in international trade will be inevitable until this tragedy and subsequent government responses can culminate, as economies will need to remain open to foster a favorable business environment for all. It should also be clarified that this indicator depends on the behavior of the price of oil, which also depends on the health crisis, is largely due to the oil trade war between OPEC countries such as Saudi Arabia and Russia.
Speaking about economic growth, I think that it depends on how companies and consumers perceive this situation.
Thus, if it is temporary and punctual, according to many indicators estimated by the WTO, a lesser extent of the economic slowdown will be seen compared to other crises above, which is the positive and optimistic view expected on real income, especially for the year 2021, where everything is expected to return to normal.
Finally, the inflation is expected to continue to the mid objective, which finally it helps to quickly stabilizing our economy without losing the purchasing power of our currency.
The spirit of always wanting to learn, because although it is true that I have had an important academic training thanks to the quality of teachers from who I have learned immensely, I have also had the discipline of nurturing my knowledge autonomously, because I know that academic training goes beyond obtaining a degree. I know that it must go hand in hand with the reason why I started studying, and that is to help create tools to build better conditions. I also emphasize that I can create solutions if there are obstacles to the device plan, that I recognize the importance of working in a group and exploiting the potential that each member has, that the most important thing is to foster an environment of inclusion, tolerance, and cooperation to obtain satisfactory results. Finally, that each goal that I set myself, I try to fulfill impeccably, always trying to get out of the ordinary and innovating.